Welcome back to the channel, guys. Today we're at a virtual range in GS Pro with our Uneekor iMini, and we're going to put this thing in its carrying case and head out to this exact range in reality and put the Uneekor iMini to the test. Stick around, I think you're going to love this one. Let's go. So our iMini is going to come in this hard case, makes it great for carrying it to the range. The only other thing we need out here is an iPad. You don't technically need it, but this will give us the full range of the View software, which in today's video we'll go over everything that the View software has to offer on the mobile. It comes on an iPad only, you can't get it with Android, but it's a pretty sweet feature, sort of having the full View software with you on the mobile range. So we'll just open up the iMini case. What I've got in here is the iMini. I didn't bring the power cord, but I did bring the club stickers in case some of them wear off or come off when I'm hitting. So we'll take our iMini, we'll get her all set up, and we'll get started hitting. All right, so for setting up the Uneekor iMini, first we're just gonna power it on. You're gonna see that e-ink display light up. Looks like a sort of an Amazon Kindle. So very easy to see, bright outdoors. And as far as on the iPad, with the View software, it's gonna immediately start reaching out and looking for that local internet connection. You may have to go into your Wi-Fi settings and select it if you've got other things that connect to it, like your personal hotspot. But once it connects, you're gonna just see the device pop up on here. All you gotta do is hit connect. That'll hook right in. And when the connection says successful, we'll be hooked up to the iMini. We will then just select our user account. We'll start our session. I'm just gonna call this outdoor demo. And we'll start with a wedge. And let's start with a pitching wedge. We'll hit save. There we are, we're set up in the outdoor demo. Now I'll just set this down kind of beside my hitting area, and this will be an easy reference for me to get all of the data while we're playing. Now, as far as the Uneekor is concerned, we want to get it set up and aligned, obviously, so those are easily done right here on the device. Inside the setting menu, the first thing you'll see is a setting for auto tilt, and that's going to handle whether you have it on a level surface or not. I'm not going to assume that we have it level, so we'll just set that up right away. Elevation is automatic. Tilt correction is on. So we're good to go. Now we'll just get an alignment stick down. We'll set down 2 balls and we'll get this thing aligned. So to get it aligned, we'll put a stick down our target line. We'll hit the align button. We'll choose auto. It's going to ask us to set 2 golf balls right there in the screen. We'll go 1 straight out from the unit and 1 20 inches back. And when we have those balls there, we can step back and verify it. And if we like where it's sitting, we can just push apply. So now we're aligned and leveled in the outdoor environment, ready to hit shots. So it says 1.9 alignment to the left. That makes sense to me. So I can put a ball down now. And you can see I've got a ball in the hitting zone. My hitting zone is going to be about 8 inches by 12 inches rectangle. Now down on the View app, I do have selected that we're hitting a pitching wedge. We want to keep track of those clubs because we're going to get all the features we get indoors. We can cycle through those. You're going to have your overhead map, side view, your shot dispersion, your club impact information, your list of shots, your list of sessions, your data mode, and then your settings. In settings, I've got the text animation on and the trajectory animation on. Everything else I'm going to leave the same. We'll just hit using this outdoor range. Club selected is pitching wedge, and let's hit a few shots and just see how this software works with the Uneekor device. First shot up, honestly way out to the right. The software showed exactly what I saw, and what we're looking at for a club path is a swing to the right with a face open. That was more towards the target, but just sort of pushed and drifting right. And if you look down the app, that's exactly what it represents. There we go, maybe 5 yards right on my target. The Uneekor has it going straight. Let's hit about 10 shots here with the pitching wedge, and then we'll move on to another club. We'll just kind of build this range session up in the database so we can get a look at the software later. Whew, that one wasn't pretty. Looked exactly like it looked on the software. Really just keep thinning it through this session here, but we'll keep hitting. Pretty good shot there. Let's hit 3 more and we'll switch clubs. Okay, so some good shots there. All right, so we're gonna move to an 8-iron. I'm actually gonna I'm gonna pick out a new target. So for the new club, new target, we'll just add a new session. So iron, it's gonna be 8. And now on the unit, we're gonna realign the unit. So I've got the club aimed at my new target. One ball will go straight from the Uneekor and the other one about 10 to 20 inches back. We'll remove that club and we'll go through the target alignment again. So up to target alignment, okay. Auto. Both the balls are going to be picked up there. Go. Instead of a 1.9 adjustment to the left, now we've got a 2.9 adjustment to the right. So I'm aiming at a new target off to the right side. Pretty easy to realign when you're on the range. All right, so here's some 8-irons. Again, just open to the right there, a little bit of a fade. Here's a good one with a little draw right down the line. Like I said, we'll just keep hitting. We'll build up these shots in this session. Again, that was pretty straight, little draw. And that was very straight, right at the target. Maybe a touch to the right, but almost perfectly straight there. Now, the other big thing I don't know is if you can just switch clubs right here in the view software, if I have to do a new session every time I hit a new club. But for now, I'm just gonna put new sessions in when I need to switch. A straight, a little bit of a draw there. Wind might be affecting it out here. It's showing a fade on the launch monitor. That was really thin, but straight. Just down the middle, a little bit of a pull. I think it just caught off the toe. Good swing there. And this will be the last 8-iron we hit. Off the toe to the right, I would expect. Maybe catching it straight. Yeah, call the straight ball on the Uneekor. Okay, so if I could, this would be my only recommendation, and somebody in the comments just let me know if I can't find it. I would just want to switch clubs inside of the app. So I don't really know how to do that. It sort of feels like I've got to add a new session each time I want to do that. So that's what we'll do. We'll go new session, iron, and we'll go with a 6-iron here. Oh, way off balance. But that ball went straight with a cut. Try to slow it down a touch. That was launched. Hit very well. Touch to the right. Yep, so we're seeing kind of a straight ball, cutting a little right. That was pushed. Face open. Everything's kind of going a little right today. I think the interesting part will be getting back to the computer at home and looking at this report when we're all said and done. That was just clobbered. Hit really well. Straight with a little cut. 194 on the Uneekor screen. Straight with a little cut there. Another one hit really well. I expect maybe a 5-yard cut out of that. And there would be the first draw of the session. Oh, actually, 0.3 across, but got the face more square. So. And that one landed about 15 yards left. Started left, curved left. Pure ball right there. Started left, little draw. All right, so we'll hit some 4 irons. Let's change it in the app here. Again, comment down below if there's a way to add these irons without having to go through this whole session. But we're gonna keep the same alignment and hit some 4 irons. Now the first one very towed and left. Yep, just like it's shown on the launch monitor. Good swing there. Path gets a little across for me. Try to keep it inside on these next couple. Big hook there. 20 yards left of a line. Might have been the first one I pushed. We just didn't get the club face shut. Good one there. Woo. 4 left. All right. Good ball. The ball sounded broken, but was crushed. Good cut there. We were a little across the ball. That ball did exactly what it should have done. All right, let's move on to the hybrids. All right, we're gonna go with the hybrid 3. So hybrid 3 down that same path. Big pull hook. Represented well by the machine. Same thing there. Ooh. They're catching the toe. There's sort of the first one high and right, and I sort of set up for that one. Try to get rid of that big hook we've been hitting. Let's set up for that again. Try to keep that hook from coming into play. There we go. Beautiful ball. Big high draw. 2 shots to go. Ooh, the miss is that toe hook. All right, that's another good one here. Straight as an arrow, a little to the right. Cutting a touch, good ball to finish. All right, last things last, let's hit the driver. Now for driver, we're gonna have to move this unit a little bit. Get it closer till I've got that ball in circle. So there we've got the ball in our new zone. We'll need to do a realignment real quick. And at the same time, I'll add a new session here. All right, so aligning, we're gonna go align here. Auto. And apply, target aligned, and we can go into play. All right, so we're just gonna hit like 6 drivers. Pretty good one there to start. That was just a high draw. Hit really well. A touch chunky and left off the toe. So not my best. Try to put some speed on one. Ooh. High in the face and left. And it's just great that it's showing exactly what's happening on the range, showing up on the pad. Should be way right. Kind of got stuck, popped out of it. Yep. All right, so I think we'll just hit some sand wedges to finish out the bucket. And it'll give us a good reference on the post-round report. It's going to show you where those dispersion maps look like. So let's add sand wedge and go from there. Hitting area not quite big enough, so we'll have to realign it quick. So we'll go there. We'll just hit align, auto, apply. All right, so we'll just finish with some wedges. Call it a session. So that'll be it. That'll be it for the range session today. Went through basically all the wedges through the bag, checked out the new Uneekor app, Uneekor iMini software, and let's get back to the office and see what the insight reports tell us. All right, so we're back in the office. Let's take a look on the Uneekor View software. And what we have, when we could just first go into, we've got our driving range. We can look at the whole session's worth of shots, or all shots for all the sessions. And as we click through here, we can look at the very last one or everything. So if I click on the first session, the session up here, the last one we ended with was the sand wedge. So if I click on sand wedge, we can go through the different views and see we've got a driving range view. This is going to be our side view and top view of the flights. So you can see my pitch or 3/4 sand wedges versus my full ones. Dispersion pattern. So the pitch shots are a little shorter. Maybe I would separate those clubs next time. There's your launch angle. That's going to be specific to each shot. Now we can click and select or see the full view of our shots, and it doesn't really allow us to go back through and select an individual one. But I think the most powerful view we're going to get here is as we go down through our dispersion circles,
If I were to check this one on and check that one on, we've got the green one, and then I've got my orange one. I've got my 4-iron, 6-iron, 8-iron, and pitching wedge. And so from all of those, you can kind of see the different dispersion patterns. We can actually just click all, and there you go. We can see each club. So the pitching wedge, kind of a wide dispersion. We started off a little bit rough there on the range. The 8-iron, pretty tight little pattern. 6-iron, pretty darn good. Get a little wider on the 4-iron, as we would expect. A couple of hooks with the 3 hybrid, widening that. And as we get to the driver, 4 pretty good balls, and then 1 we left way out to the right to finish. So on here, we can really look at what we want. If I want to hide a particular one from the group, I can click hide. And if we want to turn that back on, we can click show. And you're seeing the yellow 8-iron disappear and reappear. So if we want to get rid of those, if we went into our little shot sessions, we could delete a shot. But if we can also get our summaries of each session. And if you look here, I've got the summaries. So the driver, average carry 273. The hybrid, average carry 239. 4-iron 212, 6-iron 195, 8-iron 168, and the pitching wedge was 141. 97 on the sand wedge, but we hit some half shots. Maybe you would separate those into different sessions so you could get your 3/4 shots separated from your full shots. Probably what I would do next time. But really great to have all the data here. So overall, I tell you what, this just adds to the whole Uneekor iMini's appeal for me to be able to take this thing out on the range, to be able to view all of our session data right there live on the range, kind of get live feedback, and then be able to bring it back home and say, oh, let's look at those dispersion circles. It looks like I need to work on the pitching wedge. It's just another tool in your arsenal when you're owning a device like this, and this can just be paired right alongside with the iMini if you've got an iPad. Well, if you like this video or got something from it, make sure you hit that subscribe button. I really appreciate it. Thank you, everybody from the Triple Bogey Golf community. I appreciate all of your support. Thank you, OMG, for loaning me the unit, and we'll see you guys in the next one.